Hey, Dylan.
Hey, Matt.
So this time we're reacting to a list that you found for us.
On 3D.
This
Sorry.
is this is from goodhousekeeping.com.
Oh yeah, right off the bat. Listen, guys, sometimes we're just spitballing ideas and we're like, let's see if there's a cool list that we can react to. So me and my very calculated searching skills typed in Christmas list. To which then I was hit by, the Christmas list. And then I was like, no, 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 not that type of Christmas list. I went, fun Christmas lists. And they were like, oh, Good Housekeeping. Here's 32 fun facts about Christmas that you may not know. And then I started reading them and went, this could be good. This could be bad. But let's talk about this on the show.
Yeah, so I say what we do
Yeah.
is I'll read out the facts
Okay.
and we'll just say on a scale of 1 to 10 how fun we found that fact.
I love it.
Yeah, 1.
10 is a difficult one to do. All right, yeah.
All right, so here we go. Fact number 1. Christmas wasn't always on December 25th. I give that like a 3.
Are we gonna read the thing?
Sure. Although Christmas celebrates the birth of Christ, it doesn't actually mention December 25th anywhere in the Bible. In fact, some historians think Jesus was born in the spring, not the winter at all. Christmas on December 25th wasn't celebrated until about 336 AD. I'll give that a solid 2.
Yeah, that's a 2. But that is also the sound of all of our religious listeners signing off.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a 2, and something I already knew.
Yep.
I hope we get some that I didn't know.
Same with this one. Number 2. Gifts have both Christian and pagan origins. For Christians, gift giving at Christmas mimics the presence of the wise men given to Jesus and the charitable giving of the ancient Saint Nicholas, the forerunner to Santa. However, winter gift giving also has its roots in, I'm not going to try to say that. Go for it, Dylan.
Saturnalia.
Thank you. A pagan holiday where they give offerings to the gods.
Yeah. Listen, I would love to do a pagan breakdown of Christmas. Like if we
Sweet.
just sat here and did like our research and just learn together. I think that would be an awesome experience. I wonder if we know anyone who
Well, I'm sure we do.
out.
I'll throw something in a Geekscape email and be like, we are looking for someone who knows the pagan influence on Christmas. That would teach us about it.
I'll take us on the journey.
I'll give this a 3. A little bit.
I'm gonna give it. I'll give it a 3, but I'm only giving it a 3 because it just gave us an idea for a future episode.
Yeah. All right, let's move past this ad, and here we go. Number 3. Evergreens are an ancient tradition. The iconic Christmas tree has a lot of roots. Forgive the pun. All right, that may have given it a point. Ancient Egyptians used to mark the winter solstice by decorating their homes with green palms, while Romans celebrated Saturnalia with evergreen bows. These green plants.
That was a full-blown 11-year-old move. Yeah. I hear that all the time in my rooms when a kid can't pronounce a word, and they'll just be like, Egyptians used to mark the winters by decorating their homes, and I'll be like, it's solstice, and they'll be like, okay, by decorating their homes.
Yeah.
I love it. Sorry.
These green plants signified that the spring would return with new life. The first Christmas trees, as we know them today, started in Germany in the 16th century.
I like that they're citing their sources as links in the little blurb.
Yeah. Are they? Oh, yes. I was like, are they?
Yeah.
The link to how to keep a Christmas tree fresh longer.
Yeah, it was not referring to that.
I'm also going to give this about a 3.
Yeah, it's a 3. Let's go to the next one. I'll read the next one. Give you a little bit of a break. You can thank Prince Albert for your Christmas tree and the coolest piercing in the world. Christmas trees have German roots, but they really took off in popularity thanks to Queen Victoria and her husband, German Prince Consort Albert. In 1848, they were sketched standing in front of their tree with their children by the Illustrated London News, which quickly made Christmas trees fashionable. That didn't care about that.
I actually am giving this a 5 though because I had no clue. Like
No, I didn't know.
this
Yeah,
is a brand new fact for me.
new
Uh,
facts. New facts automatically get fives.
yep, I think that that's fair. All right. Um,
Saint Nick was more generous than jolly. The original Santa Claus was actually St. Nicholas, a Christian bishop in the 4th century. He didn't wear the red suit that's so famous today, but he did give all his inheritance to the poor and needy. In Dutch, his name Sinterklaas, which later formed into Santa Claus.
I give that like a 4.
Yeah, because I knew most of that,
Yeah.
but yeah. I mean, you didn't. Where in that did you prove that he wasn't jolly?
Yeah. They not
I don't know.
anyway.
He might be happy.
All right, here we go. Go for it, Dylan. Well,
Coca-Cola played a part in Santa's image. Now listen, I did know this, but I love it.
I
Like
love
it
this
makes it
factoid.
makes me so happy. I'm
Listen,
giving this a 9 or
yeah,
a
this is
10.
going really high on the fun scale. Let's see what they tell us here, but continue.
Santa wasn't always the jolly man in red. Older depictions of Santa from the early 1900s depicted him more sternly, and there wasn't a standardized look for his appearance. The classic image of a happy and plump Santa that we all know today came in part from Coca Cola ads, drawn in 1931 by illustrator Haddon Sundblom.
I think the part that's crazy to me about, and I'm going to give this like an 8, I think. This
Yeah,
is,
yeah, yeah.
but
This is a nine for me for sure.
I think the thing that's crazy about this is realizing that there are people who are alive still that
Yes.
grew up before Santa Claus was a red suit wearing guy with a big white
Yeah.
beard. Like that's
I would
crazy
love
to think about.
I would love for one of those people like to ask them what does Santa Claus look like to you and
Yeah.
then like them draw it out. That would be fun. It's wild to me that this illustration from 1931 is still like the Santa.
Yeah. It is it's one of those interesting things, right? Because like I've always known that Coca-Cola is kind of where Santa's image came from. I
Mhm.
just if you had told me I would have thought that it was older than 100 years ago.
Yeah.
Like like that's
Yeah.
crazy to me to think like when I was born that design of Santa was just a little over 50 years old.
Yep.
Like that's
And
insane.
how much it took off. Like that
Yeah,
we all just kind of
everybody
agreed that
agrees. Yep,
this is Santa.
that's Santa. That's the
Yep.
one. All right, so then we go down here. I'll take the next couple.
Go for it.
Number 7, hanging stockings started by accident. The historic St. Nicholas heard about the plight of a local man who did not have enough money to marry off his 3 daughters. The generous St. Nick tossed some money down the chimney that landed in the ladies' stockings that were drying by the fire. After that, the tradition stuck. I find this hard to
Huh.
believe. I,
Yeah, I don't trust it.
I'm
Okay.
giving it a 6 because it is interesting,
On
but I
the
don't think it's true.
believability scale, history of Christmas stockings.
I mean, I'm sure that that's the like myth. I just feel like why was he throwing money down a chimney? Like that's just give it to the guy.
Yeah,
That's a
that
weird
makes sense.
that's weird. All
As
right.
far back as 1823, Clement Clark Moore wrote A Visit from Santa Claus, or St. Nicholas. Stockings were hung by the fireplace awaiting a visit from Santa Claus. At the end of the poem, St. Nick filled all the stockings, then turned with a jerk and laying his finger aside his nose and
Yeah,
giving a
we
nod.
know the plum. The
Yeah,
plum.
yeah, 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 yeah. Huh.
Yeah. All right. Number 8. Rudolph was a marketing ploy. The beloved Rudolph was created by the copywriter for the Montgomery Ward department store in 1939. He wrote Rudolph into a children's story that could be given out to promote the store. It was a huge hit with more than 2.4 million copies distributed in its first year. In 1949, Gene Autry recorded the famous song Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, and in 1964 came the movie featuring the Island of the Misfit Toys. Um, I knew most of this.
Yeah.
I'll give it a 4. This is a
Yeah, let's keep it a 4. I think I heard most of this from the Can't Wait for Christmas podcast years ago.
yeah. It
Um
it's interesting.
yeah. It's cool. Again, it's one of those things where I'm like, wow, this started like here.
Yeah.
and then just
Also,
blew up.
worth noting, just quick math here. Just 8 years after Coca-Cola decided what Santa Claus looked like, we were creating
It's
Rudolph.
true.
That's. I
It's
also think it's
true.
crazy that that book had to have been popular enough that it was 10 years later that someone wrote a song about this
Yep.
promotional book for a
Yep.
department store. That's wild. All right, this will be the last one I read, and then we'll jump to you again. Number
Okay.
9, the 8 tiny reindeer had lots of names. Rudolph was almost named Rollo or
Reginald.
Reginald,
Reginald.
and his crew also had lots of other names. They've previously been called Flossie, Glossy, Racer, Pacer, Scratcher, Freckless, Ready, Steady, and Fireball. Dylan, this is my first 10. I'm giving this shit a 10. This is a great fact.
Bro, Fireball stands out so much in
Yeah.
that that list. On
On
Flossie,
Flossie, on Glossy.
on Pacer and Pacer, on Scratcher, on Freckles, and Ready and Steady, and Fireball.
And you said Freckles. I think it's Feckless. It's
Oh, it's Feckless.
what is what, what a crazy that's my first and possibly only
Feckless.
10 on
Sorry.
this list. I love this fact.
Oh my god. Well, don't worry. We've got 20 more facts to
Yeah.
go.
22 more facts to go.
22 more facts to
All
go.
right.
Christmas wreaths are religious symbols. The custom of bringing evergreens into the home began in the 16th century among Northern and Eastern Europeans, primarily Germans, as a means of cleaning up the Christmas tree and making it more uniform. Instead of throwing out cut greens, people wove the excess into wreaths. However, the religious significance is that the circular shape and evergreen material of the wreath represent eternal life. The circle, which has no beginning or end, symbolizes the eternity of God, the immortality of the soul, and the everlasting life we find in Christ.
I'll give this a 5. I didn't know this, but it's not particularly fun.
Yeah, no, it's not particularly fun. And I'm also like, all right, so you guys were just like, it's a circle.
That means
That's a
life.
cycle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, we do know this one, but I do love
I
this fact.
do. Yes, I
Go
love
for it.
this fact. Jingle Bells was originally a Thanksgiving song. It's my favorite Christmas fact to bring up to my students.
Yep.
Turns out we first started dashing through the snow for an entirely different holiday. James Lord Pierpont or
Sure.
Pierpont wrote the song called One Horse Open Sleigh for his church's Thanksgiving concert in the mid 19th century. Then, in 1857, the song was re released under the title we all know and love, and it's still among the most popular Christmas songs today. You know what I imagine happening? I imagine somebody at that church's Thanksgiving concert, like, picking up the phone and being like, "Hey, it's your brother, Marvin, Marvin Berry."
Yeah. Marvin Pierpont, you've got
Yeah,
to hear this.
yeah. You know that Thanksgiving song you were looking for.
Well,
Listen to this.
also like not for nothing, this kind of changes my feeling of this factoid, right?
Okay.
Because
Yeah.
I always thought like it doesn't really describe Thanksgiving to me. So
Yeah.
if the song is debuted at the Thanksgiving concert, I also feel like Thanksgiving is the kickoff to
Yep.
Christmas. Like,
Yeah. Like by the end of Thanksgiving, you should be listening to Christmas songs.
yeah. I mean, it's still an interesting fact, but I don't know about
It's
that.
another one of those where it's wild to me that this song that was written for a church's Thanksgiving concert blew up to be known by at least every single person in the United States. Like
Yeah. Now, and outside of the United
and
States, Dylan,
outside the
because
United States,
your
like
last fact.
space. Astronauts broadcast jingle bells from space. 9 days before Christmas in 1965, astronauts Wally Schirra and Tom Stafford aboard the Gemini 6 told Mission Control that they saw an unidentified flying object about to enter Earth's atmosphere, traveling to the polar orbit from north to south. Just as things got tense, they interrupted the broadcast with jingle bells, as Wally played a small harmonica accompanied by Tom shaking a handful of small sleigh bells.
Dylan, we've got my second pen here,
This
baby.
is a 10, dude. Could you I hope the astronauts played it up. They're like, guys, there's something outside.
Oh no.
Oh my god, guys. Guys! Ah! And then it just goes quiet and then you just hear
Well, my favorite part is like imagining the scenario where they're just like sitting in the spaceship and he's like, "Hey, I got an idea. You gotta go with me on this one. I think this will be really funny." That's so good.
Also,
All right.
Christmas in space sounds really depressing.
Yeah, I believe that. All right, I'll do this next one.
Go for it.
Silent Night is the most recorded song. We all know the same few handful of Christmas songs play at stores and on the radio in a loop all season long, but one of them has been adapted more than the others. Silent Night is actually the most recorded Christmas song in history. It had more than 733 different versions copywritten since 1978.
I believe
Um,
that.
I believe that. I feel like every Christmas cover album has Silent Night on it.
Every Christmas special we do usually has them
Listen,
singing Silent Night.
next week we're
yeah,
gonna
yeah, yeah, yeah.
next week we're gonna be
Literally.
talking about a cover of Silent Night. So, all
Yep,
right,
exactly.
I'll give that like a generous 7.
Yeah, sure. Just because I wasn't aware of a roundabout number of how many.
Yeah. All right. Celebrating Christmas used to be illegal from
Well, if you ask some people, it still is.
Yeah. Yeah, they're taking Christ out of Christmas, goddammit. From 1659 to 1681, anyone caught making merry in the colonies would face a fine for celebrating. The Machaches, the oh my god, the Massachusetts Bay Colony created a penalty for keeping Christmas. It was thought that such festivals were superstitiously kept in other countries and were a great dishonor of God and offense of others. The penalty for breaking the law was 5 shillings. By the Revolutionary War, the day had so little significance that Congress even held their first session on December 25th, 1789. Christmas wasn't even proclaimed a federal holiday for almost another century, proving that the Grinch attitude towards the holiday was alive and well long before he was.
That's a good sentence. I like that sentence.
That's a really
I
well
like what they
written.
did there.
I'll
Good
give this
housekeeping.
a 7 as well.
Yeah, you can keep a 7.
That's pretty crazy. All right, and I think
I
I have
didn't I
one
didn't
more.
know it was I didn't know there was a literal war on Christmas in the
Yeah,
1600s.
yeah. Take that, people complaining about Starbucks. Uh,
Yeah.
It's rumored that eggnog originated in medieval Britain. Although there's no official confirmation for who invented eggnog, most historians agree that eggnog originated in medieval Britain. Eggnog was an upper
Britain.
class luxury since they were the only ones who had access to milk, sherry, and eggs required to create the original version. Monks in the Middle Ages added figs and eggs and called the drink post, while the wealthy kept with the simple recipe and used it for toasts and big events. Research shows that eggnog most likely became associated with the holiday due to the lack of refrigeration. It became a drink for the more common man in America because of larger farming opportunities and more access to cows and chickens. Yeah, we used to. Uh,
Yeah. I believe that word is posset.
Posset. Thank you.
Yeah,
I'll
you're
give this a
welcome.
solid 6.
Yeah, the thought of drinking eggnog during like the medieval periods or like being like I picture myself in Game of Thrones and then just downing a cup of eggnog makes me want to
Yeah.
vomit.
Here, let's speed run some of these facts, and we'll only read if there's like context that we need from it.
Yeah, yeah,
So here,
yeah.
you can do this
16.
next one.
Christmas decorating sends nearly 15,000 people to the ER, which is definitely what I feel like we need to know more about.
Yeah, please read this one.
If you've ever watched Clark Griswold decorate his house in Christmas Vacation, this stat likely doesn't shock you. In fact, the Consumer Product Safety Commission's most recent news releases estimates that 14,700 people visit hospital emergency rooms each November. Okay, this fact isn't as fun as I thought it was, which is
No,
about
not
240 injuries per day. The most common accidents involve falling, lacerations, or back strains. I thought this fact was going to be how Christmas sent 15,000 people to the ER at once.
oh yeah, no. I'll give this a solid 5. Didn't know
Yeah, it
this,
gets
but
a
it's not.
4. It's
Yeah.
fine.
Then I'll do this next one.
Go
Santa
for it.
has his own Canadian postal code. Let's see. The program took off. They set up a postal code for Santa as part of the Santa Writing Program Initiative. HOHOHO. So love that.
In
Uh,
no world, unless it was around Christmas time, would I have picked up that that was a Christmas HOH space OHO. Like, I
yeah,
get it, but the way it's written, I would have never put that together.
never in a million years. But I'll give that a 6. That
Yeah.
is interesting and fun. Here, you can do this one.
Dry Christmas trees spark more than joy. And this is information on how many fires are caused during Christmas. About 260 fires in the United States each year, resulting in an average of 12 deaths, 24 injuries, and 16.4 million in property
Well,
damage.
that's not particularly fun. I'm going to give that a
That is
4.
not a fun fact. That is a 0. That is a 0 from me, good sir. There's 0 fun in that fact.
Oh, here's a crazy fact. We ship a lot of packages at the holidays.
All
That's a
right, keep going.
1,
Yeah,
baby.
11.7 billion pieces of mail. Yeah, we got it. The term Xmas dates back to the 1500s. Contrary to popular belief, Xmas is not a trendy attempt to take Christ out of Christmas.
Yes.
Christianity was spelled Xianity. I
Yeah.
don't know how to pronounce that. As far back as the 1100s. X or chi is the Greek first letter of Christ. So X, and back in the 4th century, Constantine the Great often referenced the shorthand version. Some say it was as early as 1021 that the abbreviation Xmas was was used to reference the holiday, which was later shortened to Xmas. Oh yeah.
I had to
Oh
go past
yeah.
the beat it curtain as a kid to get a copy of XPmus.
Oh yeah, dude. We are 100% bringing XPmus back. That
Please.
is next year. We are calling it XPmus.
All right, there's another oh, that one I'm going to give that's like an 8. That's actually a really
I
fascinating.
really like that
That's
fact.
a fact that I will share with more people. I will
Yes,
not share this fact with
aggressively.
people. This is going to be a 1. A majority of Americans celebrate Christmas. Yeah,
Yeah,
no
sure.
fucking
One.
shit.
Yeah, keep.
85% of us apparently.
Yeah.
All right, Dylan, you can do this one.
Only about half of Americans attend Christmas services. Also, kind of no shit.
Yeah,
More
that's a good
specifically,
old
about
1.
51% of American adults attend a religious service on Christmas Eve or Christmas Day, and
Yeah.
then no other days of the year.
Yeah, I'm going to give that a 1 as well.
Yeah, one.
Americans spend nearly 1,000 a year on gifts. Uh, eh,
Yeah,
uh, yeah,
on
that's
average, nine
I'll
hundred
give that a
sixty-seven dollars
2.
thirteen
Yeah,
cents. Yeah.
there's a number. Cool.
Ooh, well, mistletoe is an aphrodisiac. The holiday decoration isn't just pretty, it's also an ancient symbol of fertility and virility. The Druids considered it an aphrodisiac. Okay, I thought this was going to have more information of how it is.
Yeah,
No, it's just, hey, it
4.
symbolizes kissing. Yeah,
I'll give
whatever.
that a 4. Um, all right. Oh,
Uh-oh, uh-oh.
mistletoe isn't as sweet as it sounds. All right, let me read a little bit
No,
about this.
okay, all right. Ooh, this is a two-parter.
Yeah, missile
Way to go,
thrush
Good
birds eat
Housekeeping.
plants, berries, digest the seeds, and then help the plant germinate with their droppings. The German word for mistletoe literally means dung on a twig. Uh, really makes you want to pucker up, doesn't it? You know what? That one's going to give a 6. That's
Yeah,
crazy.
that's a fun one. That brought the mistletoe fun facts back.
Yeah.
Turkey outranks ham as a festive favorite. Yeah. That's
I,
on my end. Like, I
but
love a fucking Christmas
I
turkey.
I feel like the problem with turkey and the
Is you
reason
just had it
you
during.
just had it. I feel like that's why my family does ham is it feels like literally
We do both.
we just finished killing the Thanksgiving leftovers 2 weeks ago and now we're
Yeah,
back with more of it.
I know, but I
Um,
love another. I love another turkey go around.
yeah. I'll
Christmas
give that
dinner
a
to me is just Thanksgiving dinner, but on December
that's fair.
25th.
I'll give this like a 2. This is
Yeah.
sure. All right. Candy canes originated in Germany. Do we need more context on this? I feel like you and I both already knew this.
Yes. Yes. We both knew this.
It's a
I like
2.
candy canes. That's a 2 fact, but I do love candy canes.
All right, Dylan.
The Rockefeller Christmas tree started small. The first Christmas tree at Rockefeller Center looked more like Charlie Brown's than the resplendent, sorry, I didn't see that S there, resplendent one today. The iconic tree dates back to the Depression era. Construction workers first placed a small undecorated tree while working there in 1931. 2 years later, another tree appeared in its place, this time draped in lights. It just kept getting bigger every year. Today, the majestic tree bears more than 25,000 twinkling lights and sees millions of selfie takers each season. Perhaps we lost the meaning of Christmas
Yeah, just a little bit.
from one year to another.
I'll give this a 3, I guess.
Yeah, that's fine. I mean, listen, going to see the Rockefeller tree, it's impressive.
Never did it. No, I've
Never did
never
it.
seen it in person.
It's impressive. I will say it's more on like a stand to make it look bigger as well. But at the same time, I feel like it would mean more if it was just this normal size Christmas
Normal,
tree.
humble tree. You know what,
Yeah.
though? Speaking of this factoid and
Yeah.
us deciding that we need to do more sitcom Christmas specials, I feel
Mhm.
like that we gotta do another 30 Rock Christmas special. We did that in our first year with,
Ludicrousness.
Ludachristmas, and I feel like there's more than just that episode, so
Oh
we gotta
yeah,
make that work.
for sure.
Alright. Oh, of course, I picked this one. Uh, Norway
Trafalgar?
provides the tree in Trafalgar Center.
Trafalgar is how I'm going.
Trafalgar? Okay, sure.
Or
Uh,
Trafalgar? I don't
the
know.
Londoners and
Oh,
visitors
so
alike
sorry.
probably know the iconic spruce that stretches to the sky each year, but few realize that it's an equally iconic holiday gift. Since 1947, the city of Oslo in Germany or in Norway has given the tree to London as a token of gratitude for Britain's support during World War II. I'll give this like a 6. I
Yes,
don't.
yes, fun fact, great fact.
All right, here we go, Dylan. We're in our final 3. This one's you.
This Christmas gift held a life-saving secret. During World War II, the United States Playing Card Company joined forces with American and British intelligence agencies to create a very special deck of cards. They distributed them as Christmas gifts to soldiers, but they also helped Allied prisoners of war escape from German POW camps. When wet, individual cards peeled apart to reveal maps of escape routes. That's fucking cool.
That's a 9 at least.
Yeah, that is a dope fact.
That is
I
a
did
really
not know that.
yeah,
That's
that's a
cool. I want
really
to watch that movie.
yeah, we got to get someone on the case to write that one.
Yeah.
All right, your Christmas tree likely traveled a bit. Unless you cut it down yourself, your fresh Christmas tree probably spent weeks in the ground before it appeared at your local retailer. And there's likely not much hiking into the woods involved. 98% of American trees today grow on farms, mostly in California, Oregon, Michigan, Washington, Wisconsin, Pennsylvania, hell yeah, and North Carolina.
I love a
I'll give
Christmas
this,
tree farm.
yeah, I'll give this like a 4.
Yeah. I mean, duh.
Yeah,
You mean the Christmas tree didn't grow in this lot?
yeah,
Like, what are you
Jesus.
talking about? Of
All right, Dylan,
course.
here's the last one. This is the most fun fact that
Okay.
Sarah Vincent of Good Housekeeping could come up with. So
Shut
here we
up,
go.
Sarah. I hope you're doing well. Fact number 32. Tinsel has a storied history. Tinsel was invented in 1610 in Germany. It was spun from real silver and then hammered out and was more of a luxury decoration than the cheap tree trimming it is today. The US government once banned tinsel because it used because it just fucking hated tinsel
Yeah.
because it used to contain poisonous lead. But no need to worry now. It's just plastic. That said, it should still be kept away from young kids and pets since it can be a choking hazard.
Are you a tinsel guy?
No, dude, this stuff gets
Same.
everywhere.
I'm gonna say a 4 on this. Like, oh,
It's
okay, that's cool.
like unless like it's. I think it's fun to hold a lot of tinsel. Like it is
It
just like
feels
oh,
wild,
this
yeah.
yeah, this is great. There's a lot of little tiny pieces of plastic in my hand, but like one piece of tinsel is the bane of my
Yeah,
existence.
no, 100%. Well, Dylan, those were in fact facts.
They were facts. Some of them fun, some of them not. Um, I do love reacting to some of these lists with you, whether they are just random facts or TV episodes. It is fun to do something a little different and react to something in real time. So,
Yeah, I agree. Well, Dylan, Merry Christmas, buddy.
Merry Christmas, bud.